A flashback to Woo Jin's birthday, where things take an intense turn as Woo Jin and Miss Han share a romantic moment until In Han unexpectedly walks in on them. Shocked and disturbed, In Han quickly leaves, running out onto the street. Miss Han, desperate to stop him, follows in her car, but in a tragic twist, she accidentally hits him. As she approaches him in horror, she notices a pen in his belongings, recording everything that had just transpired. In the present day, Kang Ha finally decides he's had enough of the toxic culture at Jooshin High and reports the bullying incidents to the police. When questioned, however, all the students deny any involvement in bullying except for Jae Yi, who bravely steps forward and admits her participation. Her confession leaves the school in shock, exposing the deeply embedded issues that have plagued Jooshin High. Back at school, the tension rises as all the wealthy students gang up on Kang Ha, taunting him about his scholarship and reminding him that it's their family's money paying his way. They sneer, asserting that he shouldn't overstep. But just as things get heated, Jae Yi steps in and stands up for him, silencing the group. Meanwhile, Woo Jin starts to reflect on his recent actions, especially regarding He Ra. He realizes that her talk of vengeance was more an expression of anger than a true desire for harm. The weight of his overreactions and attempts to avenge He Ra dawns on him, leaving Woo Jin feeling embarrassed and remorseful. Standing up for himself, Rian confronts his mother for spying on him and refuses to be the heir of the Jooshin Group, as he is a human being before the roles he has to play. Meanwhile, Jae Yi apologizes to Kang Ha for not realizing the wrongs Jae Yi and her friends were doing. Kang Ha apologizes for making it hard for Jae Yi. Eventually, Kang Ha asks Jae Yi if she ever had feelings for him, and Jae Yi lies, saying she never did. To make things right, Jae Yi shows a sonogram picture to Rian, who apologizes and cries profusely. Jae Yi also makes Rian realize what he has done, takes him to In Han's grave to apologize, and asks Rian to apologize to Kang Ha. The principal of Jooshin High discovers a compromising video of Woo Jin and Miss Han, warning Miss Han that her involvement with a student crosses ethical boundaries and abuses her authority. To avoid scandal, Woo Jin's parents discreetly intervene, sending Miss Han plane tickets to quietly resign and leave the country. Meanwhile, Rian, Jae Yi, He Ra, and Woo Jin spend time together, but He Ra pieces together the truth about Woo Jin's betrayal. She realizes Woo Jin is the one who exposed Jae Yi's pregnancy to Chairman Yoon, which ultimately led to her impending move to New York. Shocked yet composed, He Ra privately confronts Woo Jin. She implores him to keep this secret, warning him that revealing the truth would shatter their friendships and bring chaos to their tight-knit group. Woo Jin, filled with regret, silently agrees, understanding the gravity of his actions and the need to preserve the bonds he has already endangered. Woo Jin, filled with remorse, brings In Han's pen to Jae Yi and offers a sincere apology. Realizing the weight of what this recording could reveal, Kang Ha decides to turn the evidence over to the police, hoping it will finally bring justice for his brother, In Han. As investigators review the recordings, they uncover shocking connections to Woo Jin's father, whose political power complicates the case even further. Just as Miss Han is preparing to leave the country, authorities intercept her, arresting her for her involvement in the events surrounding In Han's death. The fallout doesn't end there. The police also detain the students implicated in bullying, bringing an abrupt and heavy consequence to those who perpetuated Jooshin High's toxic culture. This wave of accountability shakes the foundations of the elite school, leaving everyone involved to face the weight of their actions. In the aftermath of the scandal, Jooshin High undergoes a major overhaul, with the principal being dismissed and a wave of reform sweeping through the school. Joo-won, relieved by the change, is especially happy for his mother, who no longer has to be entangled in the school's unethical dealings. At school, Rian approaches Kang Ha, remorseful and seeking forgiveness for everything that transpired. But Kang Ha, still grieving his brother's loss, coldly reminds Rian that no apology will ever bring In Han back. Kang Ha tells Rian that the only way to make amends is to carry the weight of his guilt for the rest of his life. Meanwhile, Rian's mother holds a public press conference, taking responsibility for the misconduct at Jooshin High. She pledges to make things right by shutting down the circulation of the illegal video and by implementing policies to prevent further corruption within the institution. As the investigation into Jooshin High intensifies, the police question all students involved. Rian steps up and confesses his part in the bullying, owning up to his actions. The following day, Jae Yi and Rian spend a bittersweet day together, sharing a quiet farewell. Jae Yi, trying to be strong, asks Rian to let her go with a smile, expressing her hope that they'll reunite in the future, but only when they're no longer dependent on each other for support. With the scandal behind them, Jooshin High undergoes a transformation. Bullying ceases, and the oppressive atmosphere lifts as a new principal arrives, focused on restoring the school's culture and creating a safer environment for all. After everything settles, Kang Ha finds himself alone, reflecting on the events that unfolded. He Ra approaches him, offering a heartfelt apology for her part in the turmoil, and stays with him for a while, providing quiet support. In a flashback, we see a tender moment between Kang Ha and Jae Yi before her departure. Kang Ha apologizes for causing so much trouble in her life, indirectly pushing her towards New York. Jae Yi, with a gentle smile, reassures him, revealing that she genuinely liked him, softening the farewell. Eventually, Jae Yi reunites with her mother abroad, finding a sense of peace and new beginnings away from Jooshin High.